I don't know, Isaac. I think those aliens are around here somewhere. It's a little scary. Oh, hi there. Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. We're doing another Star Frontiers video. This is a short one, I hope, because we're in kind of a spooky place, and I think there might be some aliens jumping out. We're in a zero-gravity environment, just like you've recently seen in Alien Romulus. There's a bit in there, and I'm going to spoil it slightly. It's toward the end of the film, so if anybody... I've given this a bit of time, but if you haven't seen Alien Romulus, maybe look away. It's a very minor solution to an action sequence, so maybe use that as your guide. But regardless, there's a bit in the movie, and I watched it and I just laughed and I said, hey! That's not possible. My Star Frontiers players would laugh at you for doing that. Because it happened to me. So in the movie, there's a sequence where our main characters turn off the gravity so that the aliens can't attack them or are having trouble attacking them. They shoot them all, and then there's like all the alien blood is floating around through the space. And now that the aliens are gone, our heroes have to get out of there. So they leap themselves, they push themselves through this zero gravity environment and try to avoid the pieces of the alien goo, the acid blood, so it doesn't hit them. Interesting sequence, a lot of fun. Again, it's a spoiler for later in the film, I'm sorry. But there's one bit that I just got real mad at, and I'm going to spoil it. Again, it's a solution to an action sequence, so probably not a major spoiler. There is a length of the acid blood heading toward our main character. Katie, what's her name? I can't remember her name. Her. Anyway, she's floating with a pulse rifle like the Marines used in the second film. And in order to avoid hitting this goo that's going to cause acid to hit her and melt her, she uses her gun, points up, and propels herself downward on her trajectory to dodge that bit of acid blood. Oh, thank goodness. Gosh, that was sure smart. And I was just like, hey, that wouldn't happen. I know, because I did that in Star Frontiers, and my players got mad at me. In my Star Frontiers campaign, similarly, we're floating down a tunnel. Now, in Star Frontiers, you don't have artificial gravity. Thank God. That's something I've always loved about Star Frontiers, is an adherence to science. There's no special effects here. There's no making a film, so we don't have to come up with excuses why people are standing on the ground all the time. No, we can have zero gravity and the realities of space. And we did, and it was great. I love that about Star Frontiers. In this particular part of my adventure, my characters are going down a tunnel. It's completely spherical, and they're floating along. And one of them had, I want to say it was a shotgun or something. And I think there was a bit of combat. Now, for those who are wondering, wait a minute, how can you have guns firing in the vacuum of space? I will have you know that TSR already took care of that for you. All Star Frontiers players know this. There's a line in Nighthawk's rulebook about, yes, a gun requires air to ignite the gunpowder, etc. But the designers of the guns in Star Frontiers knew people would be shooting their weapons in space, so they've actually got air capsules around the gunpowder. So yeah, sorry, you can't use that as your logic. I'm sorry. Star Frontiers already took care of that. That's good. But what Star Frontiers does not go into much detail about, and I just made an assumption, like the makers of Alien Romulus, is how momentum works in zero gravity and how you move, and any forces that you project or are impacted upon you, how they affect you in a zero gravity environment. My characters, I seem to remember one had there had been this combat in this zero gravity hallway, and they ended up going down into another chamber and wanted to get back or something. Or maybe they were in spacesuits and they thought, oh, I'll propel myself back to the group. I can't remember. But with their, I want to say shotgun, they used it and just fired, boom, and pulled themselves back to the group. Yay! All my players immediately got out the science textbooks and they said, nope, Kev, it wouldn't happen that way. That is not what it goes on. You would need to have incredible precision, like molecular levels of figuring out the exact center of your weight, and fire the gun in such a way to make that work would be almost impossible. The vast odds are you fire a gun for the purpose of using it for a trajectory change, like in Alien Romulus. You're gonna need to have, if you do it the way you're thinking, and the way Alien Romulus did it as well, you fire a gun, you're gonna spin end over end. You're gonna do a gyro thing. You are not going to just move yourself like a jetpack. It doesn't work that way. And I was like, oh, I mean, my players were very forgiving. They're like, you know what, we'll just go with it. We'll suspend the science for now. We'll get through this sequence. Just for next time, maybe don't have that as an assumption. Okay, thanks. So, when I was watching Alien Romulus and she used a gun to move out of the way of the alien blood coming at her, I just shouted. Or, I didn't. I bit my tongue. But I was just like, nope. It wouldn't work that way. I happen to know from my Star Frontiers campaign. So I just wanted to bring that one up. Anyway, just a short little story. Recently saw the film. Do I like it? You want a review? Okay, many people online have said it's the third best Alien film, and that's not a very high bar. I agree. I've done a whole deep dive on Alien 3 because the assembly cut was released, or I found a way to get my hands on the assembly cut, which fixes a lot of the problems with Alien 3. Still not a great movie, but it does fix a lot of the problems with what we saw in the theater. And a lot of people I've been hearing talking about Alien Romulus have been saying, oh man, this is better than Alien 3. Like, there's a lot of junk down at the bottom. And obviously the first two, the 79 original and the 86 sequel, are gold. They are untouchable, and I agree, they are fantastic films. Alien is my top 5 of favorite films of all time. Alien Romulus, I will agree, it is the third best Alien film. It is marginally better than Alien 3 in my opinion. There's some issues there. I'm not going to go into them because I'm sure people love that movie. So great. Go ahead and enjoy it. Watch it. Have a good time. I didn't think it was all that great. I think it has good bones. I think you could go somewhere if this is the new trajectory for the Alien franchise. I hope they do better in future stories involving these characters. There's some potential. Much better than all the other stuff we've seen in the last 20 years. But this isn't a movie review. I will just say, yes, it is the third best Alien film by a hair above Alien 3, and even that's not very good. So, I'm not going to get into that. So, I'm going to stop there. That is my Star Frontiers story of how you couldn't just fire a gun to move off the trajectory. Not if aliens are coming at you from the dark in a weightless environment. Just like myself and Isaac are experiencing right now. So, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.